Being confident in yourself is important. Being confident in your equipment is a must. When you do the hard work of getting to that spot on the field, you must have the confidence to seize the opportunity. My name is Brad McCurley. I play for Team Infamous, and the Vanquish takes my game to another level.
Hey, let's go, man! This is not over!
Step the fuck up or go the fuck home.
They came up to us, we lend out our hand. They spit in your face, this is your promised land. Hey, where did survival go? We saw them pack up their bags and watch the harder body go. We're all dead men here after all. We're all dead men, we're all dead. We're all dead men here after all. Got time to kill, got time to spare. We're all dead men here after all. We're all dead men here after all. Always here to lend a dying hand.
At the beginning of the season, we were kind of excited to get rolling because we had the same roster as last year minus Greg, so everything seemed to be going smooth. And then a couple weeks before Dallas, we got the, I don't know if you want to call it call, it was more of a kind of, everybody was kind of surprised by it that Todd was leaving the team.
Todd leaving, I didn't see him ever leaving, basically. So when we got the word that he was leaving, we were like, well, what are we going to do for a coach?
Losing Todd Martinez at the beginning of the year was definitely a change. You know, a lot of us are very good friends with Todd before he was our coach. Having him as a coach and just having him being so close to the players, basically knowing us as friends and paintball players was good for the team, I think. And, you know, not having him around was pretty crummy, but we'll make do.
We're just going to take the experienced guys we have, come up with game plans. Travis, the fields weren't really working out for him without having back center. So he kind of took a step back, you know, figured out the game plans for us and kind of was the coach.
My plan all the way up until, you know, the Dallas event was to play paintball this year. But about 2 weeks before the event, Todd called and said he wasn't going to coach. So I just elected to kind of pull myself out of the mix and then just sort of act as the coach.
Travis was already kind of a mind with Todd on how to formulate strategy and everything like that. Todd was a very hoorah kind of emotional leader, where Travis was more of a analytical, strategic leader. And I think we need both, and I think that we had to kind of find it in each other to kind of get each other up and do Todd's job from last year and let Travis take over a bigger role and kind of step in as the main coach.
I think he's a great coach, you know. It's just kind of hard for him when he has to think about playing and coaching. And he got kind of thrown into that role. He didn't really expect it, it just kind of happened.
We really legitimately thought Todd was retiring from coaching because that's what he told us, and he said, I'm gonna, you know, focus on my business, it's blowing up and they need me there and da-da-da-da-da. So there was no ill will. We all thought he was just going to help Raza.
I think we held it together and we went into Dallas prepared. So everybody felt comfortable, everybody felt confident. We ended up playing Thunder first game and it was kind of a blowout.
So first match at Dallas, we played Seattle Thunder, and that's kind of the team that is one of the bottom tier teams. So if you really want to be one of the top tier teams, you really have to come into that ready to roll and ready to get a good margin for the rest of the tournament. So we went in there and scored some points quick and played really aggressive and beat them pretty handily.
We were hungry. We came off a sour loss at World Cup. We just wanted to go out there and smash people. Thunder, they're a great team, but we weren't going to let them beat us.
Respect 187. You have to come out and play like you're playing another top level team, because if they will capitalize on your mistakes and they will make you pay.
So the first point, they came out and they beat us pretty handily, which woke us up pretty quick. So we came out the second point, and I remember running down the Dorito tape, and I saw, I think it was Nick Laval in the Dorito can shooting cross field. I knew I could just get a really good bunker shot on him. So I just ran right up on him, and I'm shooting him in his head. Not in a malicious sense, but just to kind of wake him up and be like, all right, we're here, you won that first point, but we're winning the rest. As I did that, he kind of spun, I think he kind of spun a little bit, and he actually ended up shooting me. So since he shot me, I'm running off the field, and the next thing I know, I'm getting riddled in the back of my head, and I'm like, what is going on? But Sos notices this as I'm getting riddled, ends up taking the kid out pretty quick, even though it was like a short-lived one-on-one. So then Sos is grabbing the flag, running it in. During that point, they had gotten a major penalty, though, or at least it said it was a major on the box, or on the clock. As he's running to hang the flag, he comes out of the box because the ref told him that it was actually a minor, but the wrong time was on the board. So he comes out of the box when Sosa's hand is like right in front of him, and he shoots, basically sticks his beer on his neck. Sosa is like, what is going on? And then the kid thinks that he saves the day, tries to grab the flag, runs it in, but then they kind of settle the storm and make him say that they put the wrong time on the board, and they actually ended up giving us the point, which they might have thought they got the short end of that stick, but it would have been pretty unfair to us to put the wrong time on the clock, let him come out, stab him in the throat, and then give him points. Bobby crawls all the way down to their snake. They're stacked up down the line in the Doritos, and I'm on the tape as well, so I know that there's really no one inside watching any of the cuts on the Doritos, so I know I have a move if I figure it out right to bunker at least one and hopefully two. End up running up to the first guy in the Dorito, hesitating a little bit so I don't trade with them, shoot him, and then run to bunker the last guy, and Bobby shoots me in the back of the head as I'm shooting him. One guy calls a major, and from my point of view, it was as I'm getting shot in the back of the head, I'm shooting the guy. So they call a major, which kind of gave us an uphill battle.
At the end of regulation, they were pressing pretty heavy because I think we might have lost a couple guys on the break. And they only had one guy on the Dorito side, and I was lucky enough to get a shot on him down the tape, and as I did that, I wrapped my Dorito, and I see about 3 guys just running down the snake side, running up the middle. I think we shoot almost all of them, and then we're all kind of in a panic to find the flag. One of the kids already had the flag, and he was holding it as we're all kind of running around looking for it. Time ran out, we went into overtime. When we played Tauntauns, they actually had a number, and they came out pretty hard against us. We ended up losing the first 2 or 3 points.
The game was borderline going into overtime. I remember not having a good match, but this particular point, I felt like I was figuring out the field the way it was meant to be played at the tournament. I got into my spot. Their snake guy tried to make a move down the field. We got rid of him. That freed me up to make a move into the snake side, and something just clicked. I just knew I had to go. I started to push down the field, was able to catch one of the Dorito guys in the 50 Dorito, and I knew that would free me up to make a move aggressively down the snake side. I just remember going down, and I knew there was still one more guy on the Dorito side, but I just wanted to take the guy out in front of me and let the rest of the guys close the game out. I ended up going down, bunkering the last snake guy. The rest of the guys closed it, and we ended up coming off with that win. It was a real motivational boost, you know.
Yeah, the Ironman game, we came out really hot, put some points up on the board, and made it hard for them to come back. They started finding success by just running wild up the middle. Not to say they got away with some stuff, but I mean, they were so wild that it was hard to really counter. But when it got really close there at the end, we made sure that they didn't pull away with it. But the way we played at the beginning of that match, it showed that we were playing that field on the long, slow points really well. But it also showed that we need to figure out how to stop all of that up the middle wild action as well.
Our boys came out on top and it gave us the bye, which was a great feeling. So Infamous was in to the top 4 for the first event of the year.
We got the chance to watch the teams play and not play that first game, which is always a huge advantage.
So going into it, we had a good feeling of what they were going to do. And it started out like that.
Going into the Dynasty match, I don't really remember having any emotion towards playing Dynasty. I don't remember feeling nervous. I went into that match thinking they were just another team to play.
We had watched them play and we thought we would really match up well against them. We went out there at the beginning of the match and I feel like we played really well. It just seemed like everything was working right. It's just one of those games where it's just like everywhere you look, you see somebody. It just gave us like a warm feeling inside at the beginning of that match. We were all super excited. So we're up 2-0 already. There's a point where I slide into the Dorito, you're feeling good on your shots. They're kind of, at that point, they're kind of on their heels. So when I step out, I see Dalton just bypassing, I think, 1 or maybe 2 Doritos, just charging head down. And I'm just torching the top of his head, and I tuck back into the tape, and then I get shot in my arm, and I guess later on I figured out that he was doing a little fadeaway as he's coming back into the bunker, and he shoots me one time in the arm, which is pretty clever, but lucky enough Tony caught it and gave him the reds, so thank you for that, Tony. So they started that point with that major penalty, and I ended up being in the Dorito 2. Damien was in the center watching over me, and we still had, I think, 4 or 5 guys alive. Greenspan makes a move up the middle, shoots me, shoots Damien, runs through, shoots Nicky. They burn the entire penalty and win the point. So I think that gave them a lot of confidence going back out on the field after we had kind of handled business those first few points, and they just completely did a 180, burned the whole penalty and beat us.
I made a move to the snake, so I was playing really tight. I knew he was right in front of me. I could hear the sideline coach. I wasn't trying to just burn the clock, but I was trying to play it smart and just try to make them make the move, basically. It had been a long point. I was laying on my belly, but I knew that he had to come get me, and he ended up trying to come bunker me, but I heard him make the move. I just laid there, shot my gun for where he had to come. I guess when he came over, he tried to just stay low, and he ended up just not being able to come around far enough to shoot me, and I was able to shoot him and stay alive. And at that point, I think we also had to move down the Dorito side as well, opening up the game for us to take that point, and now we're up 4-2. We knew they had to come, so my first instinct was to look inside to see if they were coming down the middle. They were coming down the middle. I pulled my gun up and I was able to shoot the first guy, and then the second guy was Tyler. So I wasn't sure if I shot Tyler, but I had my gun cross-body because I knew that Spicko was pushing down the snake side, and I wanted to be ready for him. I hear the sideline start screaming, and obviously that means one thing: he's running down the tape. I come over the top, I shoot at him, I missed him, he hit me in the pack. It was a fast play. The ref made a call that I was spinning, threw a major penalty on me. Now I'm not on the field and I can't help win the match, but I had full confidence that they were going to be able to pull it out.
That field, if you wanted to slow play it, you could really hold some people up unless some absolute crazy stuff happened. And lucky for Dynasty, crazy stuff did happen. Off the break, I have my gun like this, gonna run and shoot out to the Dorito tape. As I go like this, I hear crack, crack on my gun and my loader. So one of my own guys shoots me. Immediately pull up, out, looking over, AJ's dead. So I'm like, oh great, there's 2 guys dead right away. And it seemed like super fast.
They came flying down the field, scored a point in, I don't know, 20 seconds. It was fast.
They end up scoring that point way faster than they should have. great. We just like fought so hard to get a good lead on a great team on Sunday, and now we're tied with them. Like, all right, let's just go out there and let's bring it to overtime, you know? It's not like we were lollygagging, but we're like, all right, there's 18 seconds left. You've done this a million times. Break out, don't die, don't think dumb, don't get a red major.
I saw us make it alive to our spots, except for one of us. I thought we would still be able to hold it out for that much time and just take it into overtime, and hopefully I could get out of the box and we could just win the point.
Break out, and they do the wild banshee run up the middle like wild men play, and we just, I don't know if we're just bouncing them or not shooting them, or if we're playing with our eyes closed.
All of a sudden, Tyler comes flying down the field. All I saw was him getting shot, jumping through the air like a maniac, shooting our guys. Somehow got an amazing shot on Drew.
Tyler Harmon does like a Superman backflip up the middle, shoots me in the air. It was one of the best shots I've ever been shot with in my life. I'm looking around. I'm just assuming that he has a million hits on him because all of our guys were alive. We're all dead. Spica's like sprinting in the flag, and I'm like, there's no way he's gonna get that there in time.
Here comes Spica running the flag in. I'm in the box looking at the clock. See it hit 0. Spica slides through, and they give him the point because the horn didn't blow.
4, 3, 2, 1, game over. And just like, that was embarrassing. I mean, we just like completely gave the game away.
Initially, I was thinking they didn't get the point. We're gonna go to overtime. Then they give them the point and they're celebrating, and I'm just like, well, shit. What the fuck just happened?
That feeling I was talking about having everything go your way, was turned upside down on those last few points because everything went completely opposite of our way at the end of that match.
So many bad things happened, and you know, we threw the game away basically, but there's so many things that went their way as well.
It was the epitome of beating yourself, without a doubt. I mean, they played great 100%, but I mean, they were climbing more than an uphill battle that last match. So it pissed us off. I mean, we really wanted to do a lot better than we did, and that was it.
Can't even believe it. I wasn't even mad right away because it just happened so fast. But then, you know, you can't stop thinking about it until you get back out there and start playing for the next tournament.
I don't even know how to explain it. I don't think it could ever be done again, what they just did.
We spread our mouths wide, lubed it up, and went. We blew a 4-2 lead in like a minute and a half. And it wasn't good, and we don't want to talk about it. We told you we were very emotional tonight, and you're pushing our buttons.
So first match, MAO, we came out, and we were still riding on kind of a wave of confidence from Dallas because we felt like we played really well, and we felt like we were the team to beat.
Going into MAO, we just wanted to murder any team that we could get our hands on.
Our first game against X Factor, we came out flat.
We went out there, and things just didn't seem to go our way. I mean, they were playing super aggressive and making all the right moves.
What can we do differently on the Dorito side?
Hey, we just gotta get to our bunkers and stay alive.
Where the fucking dude? He runs me down and I get shot in the pack and they call Major, the one guy over here. Fucking calls.
It ended up being a field where you almost have to sit in the Dorito until you get a couple G's, and then you start making the moves. And X Factor came at us hard, you know, like they were in our face right away. I don't know what happened, if we just went out there thinking that we were just gonna roll over these guys and they were just gonna give us the win.
It's probably the worst paintball we've played thus far.
You know, it was kind of like a smack in the face, and now we're, all right, let's get going. This is bullshit.
Hey, pain there, pain there.
Here you go, kid, come here.
Hey, we got time, let's go, motherfuckers.
That was kind of the start of the whole starting slow theme for that tournament, was kind of like go down 4 points against a team we felt like we should be handling, and then have to climb your way up, and then it's too late because every team in that division is really good. You can't give them a 4-point lead right away because they're going to beat you, and that's what we did against X Factor, and it bit us in the ass.
Hey, Damien can't do it all himself, motherfuckers. That's on us.
They're a good team, but we don't think that they should beat us ever. We know that we can beat them, and for some reason they came out and put it on us right away, got up a couple points, and next thing you know, we're in the same situation as the X Factor game, where we're trying to fight ourselves out of a hole. You never go into a tournament thinking that you're going to lose your first 2 matches. Not taking away anything from X Factor and Tauntauns, but we thought that we should have beat those teams. Just thinking it wasn't enough. You have to go out there and put it all on the line, and we didn't do that.
We for sure came out flat. The other teams were fired up, ready to win, and on that particular layout, if you had won like the first 2 points, you basically won the match. So that one was a really tough comeback field. Not much we could do about day 1.
Let's go!
Going into Saturday, we ended up kind of playing the field more like a Sunday style, where you slow it down, you really choose your moves. Every move is so important, and we wanted to win big, but just the way the field played, we took what we could take.
So after we went 0-2 against X Factor and Tauntauns, we just nearly dug our own graves the first day of the tournament, so we knew we had to win with much of a point differential as we could. So we went out there against Ironman and we played some really solid team paintball, which opened our eyes and made us realize if we just would have done that the first day, we would be 2-0, maybe 3-0. So we played really smart on that field when it slow played and really slowed down. When we had to push, we did. When we didn't have to push, we didn't. So I mean, we took everything that was given to us in that Ironman match, and I felt like we should have just done that the first day.
That was a fucking good game, dude. One more like that, we're fucking going, dude. All right, you guys feeling this shit?
Yeah, baby!
All right, feels good.
When playing?
Going to the last game against Damage, awesome team. And we knew going into it, we had a chance to play Sunday paintball.
We knew the situation that happened to us on the first day put us in a really bad position because now we've got to beat Ironman and Damage and have a really high point spread to actually not play for the relegation game.
We got off on them early with the same kind of tenacity and that mentality we had against Ironman of like, if we have to slow play, we have to do it. We can't force the issue against a good team like this, but let's make sure we hit our shots on the break. Let's make sure when we have the moves, we're taking them like right away and we're super crisp with it.
If we win by 4, we're playing on Sunday, yeah. But I mean,
Playing for the big dogs. But if we win by 3, we don't play relegation battle.
Hey, we will play relegation battle.
We gotta win.
If you win the higher seed, you play CP. If you win the lower seed, you play...
Or we win by 4 and we go for the turn.
Hey, smart paintball.
Go in 4.
That's the way you do it, boys! Hey, one more fucking point, let's go! Stack the fuck up, let's go!
We were up 4-1. Rainey was up in our Doritos. They had just moved up into the 50 Snake. Right when he slides in there, I'm like, I know I have to go bunker Rainey right now. I ran down the highway of the Doritos and then dipped to the outside right at the last second, bunkered Rainey, and then I'm trying so hard to while out because I know I have to get in a one-on-one as soon as I can. Ended up getting shot by Little Edwards before it even got to anything. But if we would have won that point, it would have covered our 4-point spread.
We even scored the last point in like just enough time to even make that, but you know, it wasn't enough.
It just really sucked to play so poorly the first day and then play such good team paintball the second day against 2 great teams and have to play for relegation and miss it by just 1 point.
These guys in the fucking field! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Guys, you gotta fucking feel, we gotta fight for our brothers, we gotta fight for us on our chest, motherfuckers, infamous, alright? On 3. 1, 2, 3, team! That's right, baby! All day!
We knew that we had to win, and if we didn't win, we were gonna get sent down. So we beat their ass. I mean, there's no other way to describe it.
Chat, you see ecstasy pills? Took a little hashtag RG14, lubed it up and spread it wide and put it right in.
We gave him the fister!
First match versus Vicious in Chicago was a huge match. I think there's not a feud, but a rivalry between us and Vicious, and we definitely do not want to lose to them ever. And then it was even heated more so this year because Todd left our team, didn't quit Infamous to coach Vicious, he quit to quit coaching, and then got an offer that he couldn't refuse, so we started coaching again. You know, so some people held a grudge, some didn't. You know, it's life happens.
Some of the guys on the team were a little upset, or they felt, you know, they feel like betrayed, I guess, because the team is a pretty close team, and when things like that happen, people get a little upset. And so when we played Vicious, guys were definitely out for blood.
Come on, fuck these guys up. On 3, team. 1, 2, 3, team. Let's go.
These motherfuckers can't hang with you. Let's go.
We went out, won the first point, and I actually ended up getting a major penalty the second point, which kind of put us down a bit.
Wake up.
Callie.
Get this clean, please. Hey there.
It was the first time we had got to play them since losing Mr. Toddler, and we were all pretty amped up for that game. I know I was super amped. I think I was in the 50 or their snake and got run down and got excited. He shot me in the pack, but I came around and spun on him. Probably deserved the penalty. One of the few penalties I got all season.
Go, boys. Hey, we got to tighten it up. What happened? We got what? Got an AJ. Hey, another one?
Stop the fucking penalties.
Hey, let's focus on how we're going to win this point, man.
We lost a couple points because we were into penalties. And then as soon as we got out of the box and we calmed down and we restructured ourselves, resituated, we were able to put it together and take over that game. Yeah, baby! Way to go, Kelly!
5-on-5.
Boom, kick!
I didn't want to beat them just because Todd coaches them. I want to beat them because they're another team in our way of achieving our goal, and that's winning the tournament. I don't have anything against Todd. He did what he had to do, and well, guess what? It's time for us to do what we got to do. We got to go knock you guys off the block, go to the next team, you know what I mean?
Yeah, boys! Whoa! One more, let's go!
You don't want to lose to the coach that used to coach you and quit and coached another team, so I'm sure he would have been happy to beat us, but there's 10 of us and one of him, so I think we got the better end of that stick.
Did what we did all year. We dug ourselves a hole and finally hit a switch, woke up and said no more. Like, this is where we're gonna draw the line because we know we're the better team. We just weren't playing like it. And I know they had a major wake, and I ran somebody down to the snake and was shooting their last guy in the corner, and he shoots from the penalty box about 5 seconds too early, gets another major while serving a major, which is his nickname, Major Wake. And I know that allowed us to get back in the game too, so I thank you for that, Zach. Really appreciate it.
It's just like waking up to the fight after we get, punched in the face a couple times, and then, we're there and we're grinding and fighting and clawing back. We don't like to lose. I mean, no one likes to lose when you're playing sports, but I don't know. I just feel like our team is just on another level.
Yeah, boy! Yeah, boy! Listen, that's why you never fucking get up. You go down 4 points, you guys play with heart and poise and fucking play against adversity, all right?
Our fucking house, man. Let's use this going in tomorrow, boys.
Yeah.
3 1 2 3 2.
We went 2-0 that first day, which made us feel good because we flipped the script from MAO and put us in a position to go 4-0 and get the bye and put us in the driver's seat like we wanted to do the whole season.
I was able to make a move down the Dorito side into the Dorito 50. The ball clipped me in the elbow. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't think it hit me solid enough to break. I'm just gonna keep playing and hold my position. Sure enough, it broke and I get a penalty. Right then and there, had to fight through adversity that we didn't need.
back and forth, fighting tooth and nail. It's just always a heated, intense match because we know how each other play. So it's kind of like a chess match, trying to outthink the other one just because everybody's on par with skill level. So it comes down to strategy, coaching, and it's who wants it more.
We were winning 6-5, and with only a few much time left in the game, they ended up coming back and tied it.
What worse time to get a penalty than an overtime? Somebody, I won't name names, got shot in their dick, decided it was cool to play on, got a major, got everybody pulled but myself, and kind of left us out to dry there. So we really threw that game away.
For me, I felt terrible because I couldn't really back up my team, and I was pretty much the reason we didn't win, in my eyes.
Right fucking now. Right here, right now. Let's go. Come on, boys.
We were super pumped for this one just because how we lost to them in Dallas and how we knew that we gave that game to them.
So the Dynasty game, we know these stats and we know what's going on going into the games, and we shouldn't even tell the guys because they're thinking, you know, great, we want to win, but as long as we don't lose by more than 4, you know, we move on or whatever, and they just put up point after point after point.
Fuck, man! Let's go! You guys go out and play? Huh? Let him fucking run a 0 score on us, motherfuckers. Let's go! Come on, motherfucker!
Nothing's working. Travis is like, guys, you do know all we got to do is not lose by more than 4 points, and we're making Sunday. And we're like, that sounds easy.
4 on 4? They have 3, I think. 4 on 3. 4 on 3.
Can we save one? Do they both come out?
Get me checked.
Hey man, we're still in this. Let's go, dude. 4 points. Just got up.
It was just one of those games that, you know, we lost a hold of from the start. You know, we were kind of scrambling to get the game back, and it seemed like we were just always one step behind.
Fuck!
Let me up, man.
Fuck! Let's go! Right now, if we miss!
We're getting beat so bad, you start like playing not to lose instead of playing to win, or just play good enough not to lose by freaking more than 4 points, and made us look like we were just like a D1 team against them. That's the worst beating I've ever gotten as a member of Infamous since I've been on the team.
Fuck, man! We're in a 3B. Another team. We're in a 3B. Damn it! There's another fucking team that's 2-2 that's playing challenge. Fucking ridiculous. Fucking damn it, man.
We keep finding ourselves in these 3-way ties with this new division. We know we had scored 1 more point against Iron Man, and we'd been playing in the Final 4. We know against the Dynasty game, we don't lose by more than 4, and, you know, again, we're going on. So it's like super frustrating to have to go from playing in the Final 4 to now playing for relegation. Just 1 point swing.
We went in that tournament expecting to win, and we felt like the first day we were on track to do that. And then next thing we know, we lost 2 matches in a row. It's like, boom, 2 hours go by and all of a sudden we're playing for relegation again. So I don't know what it takes for us to realize that everything we're fighting for goes away in a blink of an eye.
The guys are all bummed. No one wants to be in this position because you're like backs against the wall. You're playing on Sunday, but for all the wrong reasons. So we came out there and played our hearts out.
Unfortunately for us, if you want to say it, we have experience in relegation games, so we knew kind of how to handle the pressure, I guess, after doing it in MAO. So we had a tougher team, I think, with 187 in Chicago, but we knew that the same mindset we had in MAO. There's absolutely no way we're going down.
It's not like I didn't play hard the other matches. It just has a little bit more of a holy shit factor, where if you don't win, guess what? You're not even playing in the pros anymore. You're playing in the bottom tier.
Stinks for them because they got bumped down and then they worked their way back up, and they're all good guys. You know, it's just, if it's between us going down or them going down, I mean, they're going down.
What you guys did today, you guys came out, fucking handled business. Obviously, I don't think you guys deserve to be in the relegation push anyways, but 2 more events this year, shit ain't over. I still think you guys are the best team in paintball.
Yeah, no, we need to bring it together. Like, the feeling in Dallas and last year, we came this shit, we were so focused on winning. Like, we say we want to win, but like, they're saying it and they're fucking acting like we really want to do it.
I can't stay there. The D's wrapped and then the snake's on me. Either way, I'm trying to fuck her. Yeah, well, why don't you stay here then? Well, that's 3 of us over there. Better than you're dead. If I stay in the baby and that guy gets to D2, I'm pretty much fucked unless I'm like this.
Right, but if I'm in back center shooting that way, he's not getting into D2, and you can be helping Adrian.
All he has to do is wrap and put you in. You're saying you can stop him from right here.
I'm saying what happened at that point? You lost your instantly. So you went baby and you just shot Doritos. If you say, hey, switch, I'm back center shooting snake. I switch straight to the Doritos, then it's problem solved. If I can start here, I can shoot outside of Chicago up right.
I can do that. What? And then I'll stop when you go through.
That's what I meant. It doesn't fuck you up that much?
No, I can do it.
Practice went well. Played against Dynasty out here at Sea Village. Just finishing up, getting ready for Riverside. Played against them all weekend, and you know, just getting some quick reps and laying in on the break, shit like that. And all the boys look good.
They came out and they wanted to prove themselves and wanted to beat us just as bad as we wanted to beat them, and we kind of wanted to show them, hey, this is the top tier teams. But we have a tendency of starting out slow. I don't know what it is, but we do.
They really did a really good job at slowing down the game. They would come up the middle, put pressure on us. They would hold their zones real well. We had a tough time adjusting and trying to figure out what to do to counter that. They made it close. I mean, we had to really make moves and make it happen to win that game. I remember there was one point where I was kind of looking around and was able to kind of run through. They were at the X, Dorito 2 and 1, and I was able to get all 3 of them, I think, and save our ass at that point. But I'm not betting that I can do that very often.
Top Gun was a tight game. We came out slow as usual. I actually popped my shoulder out that match, dove into the snake, popped it out, popped it back in myself, and then went and got a 4-pack. So I was like, all right, this kind of hurts.
We knew that they had obviously been playing good paintball to put themselves in that position, but in the end, I think when they should have had the game, I feel like they kind of just handed it back to us.
Hey, smart paintball, what I tell you? All right, smart paintball the whole fucking time. All right, composure, mental toughness. All right, good game. Let's go, guys. Step up right now, boys. Step up. Hey, fight for each other in this fucking battle, all right? Fight to be the best out there. Be the best team.
Hey, be controlled. Be controlled.
1, 2, 3, team.
match up with them. We practice them nonstop throughout the season, so we know how they play. They know how we play.
Back and forth match, and a key point ended up getting a one-on-one battle with Rumsey, and I tried, getting closer and closer and closer because I knew exactly what they were trying to do with killing the time. I knew time was not in our favor, so I ended up just getting right next to him, and Rumsey put a pretty nasty shot on me, and they ended up winning that point. If I would have won that point, it would have ended up being 3-2 versus 4-1. It's a huge difference in the game. Unfortunately, it put us down 4-1, which is a tough deficit to be in against a team like that. So we tried everything to bring it back, and we ended up losing, I think, 5-3, it was tough, but it was a first day loss in prelims against a really good team, so it didn't tear us apart.
They all fucking played us.
They trapped.
Just like Top Gun almost did. I mean, we do it to ourselves, man. We get into our spots and we get shot out of them, so we're making stupid moves.
It's 106 degrees out here.
Everybody think about what you did on the field, and tonight when we have our meeting, bring up all the shit that, think about later.
We'll go one step at a time, and we got to be impact first, so we're going to set everything up for that, and I want you guys focused on that, so we're not even going to talk about X factors until tomorrow. Nick?
Someone was getting it done, and then the guy behind him wasn't getting done, or the guy in front of him wasn't getting it done, and the guy behind him was trying to fight off 2-3 guys.
Yeah, so we need to work together as a team, talk more as a team. There is those explosive moves, they do pay off if they're there, but a lot of times when we go as ones, man, we end up dying in pairs because one guy starts flying, the other guy thinks it's free, and he dies too. We gotta talk about shit, go as a team, make sure you're confirming things with your teammate or the sideline or something before you guys do something. So, you're toast.
I'm gonna try to play tomorrow.
You're gonna try? Alright guys, tomorrow I'll bring everything. Focus the whole day and fucking play as a team. We're gonna win this, I promise you. Alright?
Hey, it ain't how we start, it's how we finish. Let's get the fuck out of every fucking team out here, guys. On 13. 1, 2, 3, team!
They flat out, we were just shooting us on the break. We couldn't get anything going, and I remember we tried stuff up the middle. We tried to go out to the corners, tried to stay inside. I mean, everything we tried, it seemed like we were just playing into their hand. We're losing guys back to back to back. It was rough.
Hey, we can do this, let's go. Let's go. Let's go, boys.
I remember thinking that we can come back. We can still do this, you know what I mean? If you don't have that mentality that you can come back from any deficit, then you just shouldn't be on the field.
Right, they have a major. Same crew. Bob, hustle off!
I tried to run the highway, and I think it was Cornell was rapping and caught me, so I dipped off into the little Aztec on the Doritos, and so at that point I'm like, I gotta get out of this spot, this fucking sucks. So I try to dip across, then he runs highway to bunker me as I'm dipping across, and I kind of like do a little fadeaway, aka a spin, and get a red flag, which kind of put a thorn in our side, but I think it was the last point of the match anyway. I'm gonna go out blazing.
He rapped on me, which stopped my move, which fucked me.
But I was looking at him when he rapped. He didn't shoot me. He could have still gone highway.
We weren't fighting with each other, just no one was in sync. We were on the same page, and you can tell when you get out in the field that it shows if you're not on the same page. And definitely our communication was lacking, teamwork wasn't there, like people were playing for themselves, and just things weren't clicking. There's really no excuses, it's on us.
X Factor. It was kind of a winner takes all. The loser has to go play in relegation. So we kind of looked each other in the eyes before the match, and I was like, it's gonna be one of us. I'm sorry if it's you.
Wake the fuck up!
We were sick of being that team. We did not want to be the relegation match team anymore. We wanted to knock that off the slate, never have it happen again.
Hey, must win, motherfuckers! Make it count, baby! Let's go, boys.
I was all the way down the Dorito side, and Colt was right in front of me. And I knew that I had to get him off the field, so I actually wrapped the inside and shot him. Didn't know I shot him, and kept trying to shoot a guy on the inside of the field. Meanwhile, he's walking off the field behind me. But now I'm playing the Dorito like he's still right in front of me. I'm thinking in my head, I gotta make the move to try to open the game up. I get up to go bunker him and ended up trying to go bunker nobody. And Archie's sitting back there just waiting for me, missed the opportunity to help win the game, and it sucked. It was stupid. And if I would have paid more attention, I felt like we would have been able to come back and win that match.
Damn it, dude.
I think it was gut-wrenching because they knew what position they put us in, and we knew what position they put us in after we were playing for relegation, because it's our third time in a row, and we were just so sick of doing it. It was just like, well, we're getting up on Sunday morning again, but it's not for anything special.
Motherfuckers, we are a shit team right now. Fuck, man.
This team is just not used to losing. I mean, it's just, everybody loses in the new champion leagues here and there, but, you know, when you lose more than a couple games, you're like, dude, what's going on?
We all are pretty much pissed as hell to be playing in the relegation game as it is, but then when it's against Vicious and our old buddy Toddler, there's just an extra little chip on our shoulders in those games.
This is why you play the game, man. If it was easy, ain't nobody would do this shit, all right? This is what it's here for. You guys, they are not gonna roll over. They're not gonna go, hey, shoot me on the break. You are gonna have to fucking smash fucking heads the whole game.
I actually got a penalty the first point that I played. I actually got to come out of the box, and they weren't ready for me to come out of the box, and I got to shoot somebody standing like 5 feet in front of me. And then I was able to play for like another 20 seconds until the other 3 guys on the field shot me. But if their mind wasn't in the game enough to know that I'm about to come out of the box, their mind wasn't in the game enough to win. That's just the simple fact.
We only shoot snake side and go command side. Shoot Dorito side, get rid of this corner. They go to this corner. Hey, this is what they do. This is what they do. Exactly. They go bean pie, so double back center. They go corner, and they go baby.
I mean, I watched all their games probably 10 times that night, and got up at like 4 in the morning and watched all their matches again. So when we showed up that next day, we were ready. I mean, there's no way we are losing that match. It's just not even on the agenda.
Dig deep, motherfuckers. It's not over. Stay hungry, boys!
You put us in that relegation match, like, we're not going to lose that. And if we could have that mentality come out Friday of a tournament, we wouldn't lose a match ever. We weren't messing around, we weren't getting penalties, we're not having it. Like, there's no way in hell our team's playing Challengers Division at World Cup.
Fuck yeah, infamous! Fuck yeah!
That was Drewby's first run for driver. Him cheering like
I didn't want an impact, I just got a major.
Like a little baby.
Whatever, dude. Just fucking rally up, fucking focus on World Cup. Right here, boy. It starts fucking right now.
You know what? That was a rough, tough game.
Well, that was a nail biter.
Yeah, it was close.
Before it started?
Before it started. But then we just beat the shit out of them.
We're here at Central Florida Paintball, getting ready for World Cup. Gonna work on some drills and some laning, down shots, check out just all the nooks and crannies on this field. You know, fine tune everything, and then it's the event, man. This is what we all work for all year, World Cup.
Not even close.
We ran a lot of drills, shooting key guys off the break, and we just did them over and over and over and over and over again. So that muscle memory was just ingrained into us.
Driven! You got me right as you went to the corner.
Super late again in the leg.
Good. Pink!
Right here.
I see you.
Just do here. You're getting a full body there.
And then switch to
there, he's diving. Yeah. Just if he's on this side. Murder.
Fuck.
Murder.
Dive harder.
Pussy.
Ready? Go! Too high, Nick.
This is the best spot to do this, and we're gonna prove it because we're gonna do it 100 times over again, and we're just gonna keep drilling it and drilling it and drilling it. Tournament comes, hopefully that guy keeps going there and going there and going there, and we keep shooting and shooting and shooting.
Good, real good. Good shit, Cal.
Hey, motherfucker! If I get overshot again, it's gonna be off. It's like the 4 times happened. It's the only way we can shoot you. I guess, fuck.
We wanted to try a lot of things. We did a different play every time. I don't think we won most of the points, but obviously you want to win at practice, but you know just because you don't doesn't mean you're not prepared to win the tournament.
Played Chicago Aftershock our first match, and this was the first time that we were playing against Chris Sosine. Either way, it was an interesting match. Thought we were going to go out there and put it on him pretty good, and it ended up being a really close match. We were going point for point.
I don't think we underestimated them. I just don't think we were prepared for the way they play. You know, they got Bruno, and it's kind of just grab 5 dice and throw them really hard in different directions. You know, because Chalk has nothing to lose. They're not the team that they used to be. So they come out just balls to the wall. They throw everything at you that you don't expect from good teams. And it's just a different style of play, and it takes a little bit to get used to.
Let's stop the fucking stunts. Let's go back to the base plate. Let's shoot them when they try to move. We're better paintball players than them guys.
Standard paintball, man. Let's go.
You know, I get frustrated at our slow starts. We're going into matches with weaker teams, not as mentally prepared as we should, knowing that we should beat them, and we just give them a handful of points. When it comes to tiebreaker time, it makes a big deal, and we're playing for a lot more relegations than we are for championships.
Let's sack the fuck up and play some paintball.
3.5 minutes. Come on, guys.
We're getting shot out of our bunkers.
It's 5-5. Game was tied. Bob got a major. It came down to 1-on-1. But Bruno had a tough decision to make. You know, do you let your guy rock the 1-on-1 versus me? If I win or he wins, it's going to be 6-5 anyways, but we're going to kill the penalty. It's a tough decision to make, and I think Bruno got scared because he knew I was on the field, and I'm better than he ever was with an autococker.
Gave us a good solid match, but you know, it was a good wake-up game for us to be like, all right, time to get our shit together.
We knew that Damage was just going to be one of our tougher games out of those 4, and we knew that if we really wanted to have a chance at winning World Cup, we'd have to come out on top of that game and feel really good about how we're playing, especially after going point for point with Shock.
Come on, man! Let's go! You gotta want this shit, motherfuckers! Oh my God, it's a red.
Yes, here it is, baby.
We got a penalty, let's rack some points, man.
There's more paintball! As soon as you have that opening, you take it.
Immature. You know, 3-1, they got a major penalty from Chad. He came out, we were fired up, and they wound up scoring a point with the penalty and getting them out of the box. It just gave them momentum.
They scored another couple points, so 5-2 was the score pretty deep into the game. Then we turned things around.
There you go, Brad! There you go! Let's go!
Again, Brad?
AJ. Yeah, Brad.
Give me a win, please. We're tied up, man. Let's get the win. Fucking job, boys. That was sketchy.
Who's in the box?
Bob. I'm in the box. Okay. Get cleaned up.
It was the point to bring it to 6-6 and give Damage the opportunity to go in the overtime with us. And it was a 2-on-1 where we were telling AJ to, chill out and run the clock. He winds up taking one guy, and Jason Edwards' desperation move has to come up and, shoot AJ out to hang the flag. AJ winds up shooting him, and he gets shot, but Jason is crafty.
Yeah, whatever happened with Fat Kid running through, and AJ thought he traded with him or shot him first, and then the refs didn't really run him to check him. He just basically sprinted for the flag and then dove head first into the flag station.
He just dove into the hole.
Dirty hay. Fucking dirty hay. He's dirty. He said dirty. Saying dirty.
Hey, get fucking potted up! Get potted up!
Poking the goggle?
No way! They said it was on!
He dove into
God, get fucking potted up!
We got a trade.
It happens, it was there, but when, you're running in with the flag and stuff like that, the refs missed it, and then it happens.
Hey, come on! Let's go, boys! Now it's time to shine! Let's go!
Come on, Brian! No, you didn't fight back for nothing! Let's go!
We felt like we played well, but those little things just didn't fall in our favor, and it was just frustrating coming away with a loss after that match because it wasn't how you envision a team going if you wanted to win World Cup,
Gotta step our fucking shit up. Sick of fucking losing. I know all you are. Play like a bunch of dipshit for the first 4 points, and then get our heads out of our asses and smash those fuckers. We beat them fucking down.
Do whatever you have to do tonight. Come back tomorrow fucking ready. Have a fucking ego check. All of us. We've not done a thing this year. So whoever thinks they're godlike or any of us, fucking we're not. Every one of us has to fucking do everything we can as a team to fucking win, or it's not gonna happen.
We all know we
do it, man. Let's fucking do it.
As much as this sucked, don't take it as completely horrible. We came back down from 0-3. We were kicking their ass the second half of the game. We just couldn't finish. Learn to close.
Off the team. 1, 2, 3, team.
The next match was against Impact. They got a 2-0 lead quick against us, which is our MO for the whole year, you know, and just come out flat.
Time the fuck up and let's stay alive, guys. Come on. You shot the command center on the way. Let's play fucking ball, man. Break, right?
Oh, penalty.
Oh, penalty.
Penalty. Yep. Come on.
Yeah. There we go. Pull people.
There's another one over there.
Pull
too.
people.
They just pulled another guy.
Yes. Here we go.
Thank you.
We were winning 3-2, had some momentum coming in, and then I broke out to the Snakeside Temple. The ref comes running in, and it was one of those ones where you swear you did not take anything. The ref calls me out for something, and it's even one of those ones where on your way back to the box, you still don't get shot. So you're able to tell the ref, like, look, my hands have been in the air, like, where did you think I got shot?
Is that a major?
Yeah.
Fuck, what does he hit on? Are you looking at that white on his arm? He doesn't even have a hit on him, Tony.
Try to plead our case with Tony. We're like, look, what's the deal, man? Like, I don't have anything even on my pack or my side or anything. And they're like, nah, it's still a major. Sometimes they might turn it into a minor at that point, but put me in the box, which kind of killed our momentum.
Let's go, FMS! Come on, boys! You gotta want it, baby!
Yeah, we got a timeout. Play with my gun. Just frustrated with not getting any breaks all year, you know? I guess a good season is built on sometimes breaks go your way, sometimes they don't. I guess the whole year, you know, every break went the other way against us. Whereas the year before, every little inch this way, inch that way was in our favor. That whole season is nothing went in our favor, you know? It's just bad luck.
Blow the horn! Blow the horn! Blow the horn!
Yeah, they beat the shit out of us. I don't know. I mean, you want to impose your will and like win, but there's sometimes you can't shake the feeling that things just aren't going your way, and you just keep trying to do better and work harder, and that seems like 2013 in a nutshell, pretty much.
We just felt deflated, you know. We were down, defeated. Really can't explain it, you know, this bad vibe that was running through the pit, and no one took it upon themselves to change it. Last year's X Factor was a do or die match, you know. It's fourth term in a row. We lose, we're playing for relegation, which is nothing that we wanted to do.
We ended up losing the first point. Second point, I remember I was the last guy. Maybe we had one other guy alive in the snake. I tried to move from the Dorito side can out to the Dorito corner, and pretty much got shot in the face halfway there, so I couldn't really see where I was going. Knocked the Dorito over, pretty much unstaked it.
Are you guys ready to fucking play? Let's go! Come on!
Started out flat, as always. Typical infamous for the whole season. Got down 2-0. Then they came to I want to say a 4-on-2 with me and Mayo versus four of those guys, and we ended up each getting like our clutch kill. Go down to a 1-on-1 versus I don't want to say me and Dixon was in the snake. We're battling, and you could debate that he clipped a ball off my loader. I'll never admit that. because I was still alive and ended up shooting him and winning the point. So we'll just stick with that story.
Way to go, Damien! Come on, motherfucker, let's go! Come on,
let's go! Good job, Damien!
Gave us the boost we needed in the pits and the motivation to turn that corner and actually start playing infamous paintball again. We ended up with like I want to say a 6-7 minute point. I don't know, it was a super long Bangarang Rufio battle points. You know, if you can win a 5, 6, 7 minute point, it's a huge motivational lift to your squad.
Get these guys on the turn. Turn them. Hey, they blew the horn.
They blew the horn.
It doesn't fucking matter.
We go to relegation.
What? Shit down, that's all.
Yeah, if Impact loses, we go to relegation.
See my hands when I got so
We need Impact to win. Yes. Nikki, we need Impact to win.
I know.
Let's go help. Okay.
Takes everything out of your own hands, which is just frustrating because, especially considering it was that same way every other tournament, 2-2, and then we miss it by a point or whatever. So we didn't really have luck going in our favor in that situation. We maybe figured that it was owed to us at World Cup to, okay, give us one, because there's a lot of other teams that have been 2-2 and made it in, but we've always been that one that's just 1 point shy. We were just sitting there hoping, and Damage beats the shit out of Impact, which looked shady on our end, but they can do whatever they want. That's why we should have just won 3 games and not have been up to them, you know?
So once again, we're in the relegation match, and we have a perfect score as far as every event in the relegation matches.
This is our stuff. You know, we're professional paintball players. If we get bumped down, we're not professional anymore. Let's go to work right now. And that was the same thing that we did at every Challengers game that we came up with on every Sunday that we unfortunately had to play.
Hey, we all need to have a game. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
It's the same mentality we've had all year, you know? We're not fucking losing. We're not playing Challengers. This isn't even a possibility.
So first point, there's a little bit of chaos. We lose a couple bodies on both sides, and I think I was the only guy left on the Dorito side. I heard the coaches yell 50 Dorito. I come up to this pin and look down on the 50 Dorito, and there's nobody there. I'm just like, what the fuck? And then as I'm like kind of pointing down at the 50 Dorito, their other guy on the Dorito side shoots me with my gun, and I'm just like, God damn it. So made me look like an idiot.
You gotta play smarter than that. That was fucking retarded.
I thought he was here. I saw the GM Chicago. Let's go. That's not the way we fucking start out this point. Let's go. Get your head right.
The second point, I made a big move to the X, wrapped and shot a guy, then I went and traded out, I think jumping the snake to clear out the snake side for Nikki.
If you're wrapping, you can't see your guy underneath going, so you might shoot him. So I'm like, AJ, don't go, don't go, don't go. AJ comes, shoot him in his back. I mean, it's both of our faults. I should have figured out a better way to hold that without making it so I could shoot AJ, and then AJ also is like, my bad for not listening to you. And then a little bit of controversy. I think Nikki thought it was 5 guys dead and grabbed the flag, and then he saw it wasn't 5 guys dead, so he just starts trucking it as best as he can.
Keep Nikki rolling.
For me, that was it. It was just like, let's go. You know, I was so amped from that. You know, I actually got to go to my old spot. You know, I was in the snake. You know, people don't even know I could get in there.
Hey, we gotta work for it, man. You're not gonna give it to us.
2-2 in the match against Russians, and we wound up getting those 2 Gs off the break. We had the advantage 5-on-3, and that gave me the ability to, you know, get in the snake, crawl around their side, and I was just living. But I knew that I was turning guns my way, so it wound up working in our favor because AJ was able to run down other side of the field, bunker out a dude, and then they conceded it.
There we go.
Way to go, AJ.
Hey, there we go.
Way to go,
Nick. We need this point, Nikki.
We need every point. We're gonna put him in the fucking ground.
Go, man.
There we go, baby.
AJ, are you ready?
Yep.
Come on, baby.
The Russians deserve to stay in champions. I mean, they're a powerhouse program. With or without the guys that got them to be powerhouse, they're still practicing a ton, and they're still like a professional paintball team. They deserved to win too, but we just knew that there was no other option but to win that game. And I think we went on a run and showed that.
It was the very last point. Time was running down. Just kind of like, fuck it, I'm gonna run him down. And it was pretty brutal. It was, it was entertaining, I guess, for everyone on the sidelines. But he was heated enough to give me a little shoulder check as he got up. It was just kind of a heat of the moment thing.
That's definitely not the way you want to end World Cup, is winning a relegation match, because you're still like, it's like saying you're the best loser there, But, at least we're not playing challengers to start the year. I think everybody grew up a little bit, like, all right, we're not fucking losing a whole nother season, wasting the time on the road and miss family and miss everything else and dedication to go out and half-ass it and suck.
We were training and playing, but it was more of we were coasting on our talent. But talent, you got to keep on fine-tuning it, man. So thanks to, 2013, 2014 is going to be infamous this year. Quote me on it, motherfuckers.
Yes, we won the game.
Give me a crucial point.
You want a crucial point? You're an idiot. Title
Very ancient remedy. What are you trying to do? You're trying to get such weird stuff. This is not artistic.
Very easily.
Look at his dick, dude. It's like you that Cuba had a baby and then squirrels did the hair for it. It's a 3-hit combo, you know what I'm saying?
Zach, I need makeup.
In the second day, would you say you guys shit the bed?
What the fuck does that mean? I have never shit the bed. I've shit the bed once. What are these false accusations?
Hey, no paintball related questions. I told you that.
In August 2013, the Empire All-In sponsorship program was designed by players for the players. This program is set in place to aid the dedicated players and teams in their daily grind to be the best in the world. The grind is something to embrace, as it's never ending. We've all been through it. The work days, scrounging up every last penny for the chance to do what we love. The countless hours spent in the gym, fighting the urge to give up. The never-ending days of practice, planning, plotting, and perfecting your every move. The time away from home in your everyday life. The long flights, layovers, and connections. The sense of belonging, your second family. And the late nights followed by early mornings. Paintball is a sport very few actually understand. It tests your strength, speed, endurance, dedication, passion, heart. The list goes on and on. You know the struggle, but only we understand why we do what we do. Here at Empire, we're players too, and we understand what you go through. That's why new for 2014, we're bringing you the Empire All-In sponsorship program. With gear packages available for all levels, the player now has more options than ever before. In addition to getting the best gear and paint at discounted rates, players will earn a bonus payout in paint contingency for winning their division. As if that's not enough, players will also receive pro player tips and tricks while walking the field, inclusive media coverage, customized jerseys, and VIP access. Take your game to the next level this season with the Empire All-In sponsorship program. Are you all in?